Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I have a different kind of video for you guys, and it's going to be a interview with a photographer. I know a photographer very, very well, and I think she's amazing at what she does, and I wanted to get on here and kind of interview her so you guys could see what she kind of uses, what program she uses, what camera, all that kind of good stuff. We're going to sit down and talk with her. I will have her Instagram linked below for you guys if you guys want to check her out. She has done a lot of my photography for my makeup, for my outfits of the day and stuff like that. So I just thought it would be a fun video and something a little bit different if you are getting into photography, if you would like photography as a career. I know that everybody's kind of going back to school, and also, if you are not in high school but you're going into college and you don't know what you want to do. She took a year off from after high school because she didn't know what she wanted to do, and she figured out that photography is her passion. She loves it, and she's a really, really great photographer. I might be a little biased, and I'm not gonna lie, she's my sister, but honestly she really, really is good. And I hope that this video kind of helps anybody who's thinking of getting into the field. And so you can kind of hear from a photographer who's up and coming. She's not 100% established, but I feel like that's okay. You know what I mean? I kind of wanted to do this video to get other people kind of inspired in case that this is something that you would like to do, and just kind of so you can get a feel for it, to what school she went, what, just kind of an overall, I know that everybody's kind of going back to school, so I thought this video therefore would be kind of helpful. So I'm kind of all over the place. I've never done a video like this, so it's kind of new to me. And if you have any questions about this video or anything to do with what we're going to talk about today, make sure to leave it in the comments below. I will do my very best to answer them, and I'll definitely have her be answering questions with me. So feel free to ask anything, and we will definitely be answering to the best of your ability. I love photography, obviously, and in this kind of industry as being a beauty blogger and a fashion blogger, it's a lot of it. When I was in high school, I took 4 years of photography. I loved it. I really, really, really loved it. And honestly, I can't even tell you why I didn't end up being a photographer myself. I don't know. I found beauty, and I loved beauty, and they are my true passions. They really, really are. But I don't know. I just ended up choosing beauty, which I don't regret because I absolutely love it. And I get to do photography with my beauty stuff. So that's a plus for me. And but anyways, I wanted you guys to get a perspective of somebody who actually went to school, who's still studying it, who's getting her associate's degree in it, and who's, kind of out there a little bit more as a photographer. So without further ado, we're gonna introduce her so she can come in here, and so we can ask her questions and all that good stuff. So let's get her in here. So this is my sister. Introduce yourself. What is your name?
Janelle.
And
Janelle Gomez. That's it. I don't have a middle name.
Yeah. So anyways, so basically I was just telling them that you took a year off from college. From college, basically. From high school, right before you got into college, because you didn't know what you wanted to do. So how did you come about doing photography and your love for photography?
Well, I first got into it when I was in high school. My junior year, I took a black and white film photography class. And so, I had kind of always liked art and stuff, and that seemed interesting. And everybody who had taken that class said that they loved it. So, I was able to take it, so then I got it. And I don't know, I just, from when we started doing it, I really loved it. I loved all of it. Being able to develop your own film, and working in the dark room and doing developing your own photos and seeing basically them see them appear when you're doing it. That's what really
and that's
caught my attention.
A really cool skill, because in this digital age, all the cameras, are digital, and actually film photography is something that I feel like has totally been lost, which kind of sucks because it's a beautiful art, but it's a kind of cool thing that you know how to do, because there's a lot of amazing photographers out there, but not many know how to do that. You know what I mean? So that's something that you know how to do, which is really, really cool. So you ended up deciding that you wanted to make this your career because you truly, truly love it. And so then you decided to go. So what school are you going to?
I'm going to Foothill College. It's a community college here. I was
in California.
I was going to originally go to art school, the Academy of Art in San Francisco, but that was too expensive. We did the whole process and everything, and even applying, it was like $200 just to fill out the application.
Yeah, it was really expensive.
I was not into college at all. Everyone at my school was applying, and they were like, "Oh, it's so expensive," and I'm like, "Why do you have to pay for applications?" That made no sense to me. So I didn't do any of that, and plus, since I took a year off. I was like, nah, I'm not doing any of this. And so when we actually did that, I was like, oh my God. And so we, even with financial aid, it was still going to be a lot. And I don't have a license. I didn't know how to drive. So it wasn't going to be easy. I mean, you could take public transportation, but still, my mom's schedule is so crazy. She wouldn't have been able to do anything. So I thought about it, and then I talked about it with my mom and with her, and I was like, you know what, maybe I'll just go to community college. And I looked at a bunch of communities, and then we saw a whole bunch of them, and then you're like, how about Foothill?
Yeah.
And I was like, what the heck is that? I've never heard of that one. And it's basically another school's sister school, and so they had photography there, and they had a degree. It was like an associate's degree, but I was like, oh, maybe I can do that. And so I was like, why don't I just go there? And it was actually, I feel like it was a lot better going to community college because they pay all my classes. I mean, I only have to pay for books, and then it's just sometimes it was like a blessing in disguise because I was so bummed that I couldn't go to art school, but it turned out to be better that I went to community college. And there were so many people that I met there that actually they had come from university, they had already had their degrees, and they changed career, and they were like, I should have done this way before. Going to community instead of going to this 4-year university with a degree that I don't even use anymore.
Yeah, that's true. So if, for any reason you've kind of don't know what to do, or if you're kind of be like, oh, I want to take a year off, it's not that big of a deal. You know what I mean? It's sometimes you need some time to kind of figure things out, and that's kind of what she did. Yeah. Whatever. But, that college has worked out for her so far, and it's been great. Now, getting into actually photography, what kind of gear do you use? So, what kind of camera do you use? Lens, and any kind of that stuff?
I have, the basics. I have a Canon Rebel T3i, and the lens is, the standard lens that came with it. It's, an 18 to... trying to say 58 millimeter lens, and there's a zoom lens that came with it as well. It's a package. Actually, it was a present. But I don't really use a tripod just because I'm more of a hands-on person. But if I do use a tripod, I use hers. I borrow hers. It's a little one that
it's just a really basic one. I think I got mine at Target, so it was really inexpensive, and it works just
There's
fine.
some really high-tech ones, but yeah. My lens, I'm trying to get a new lens. I want a 50 millimeter lens. Those 50-50s. That's about it. I've noticed over time that because I have a friend who has a really good camera, and he takes really good pictures as well. But then I've noticed that I could do the same. What matters, and I've talked to a lot of other people, and they're mostly saying that I think it's more of the person and the lens. It's kind of more better to splurge on a lens and a camera, and it's also if you know how to take pictures, if you have talent, it's gonna show.
Yeah,
because there's tons of people who have really nice cameras, but they don't know how to use them, and they don't have an eye for photography.
Yeah,
and it doesn't work out. So
actually, I really believe in that.
Yeah, you have to really enjoy what you're doing, and I mean you can learn and stuff, but I feel when people are really passionate about something and they try really hard for it, they're gonna just be better.
Yeah, I totally agree. And flash, you actually don't like flash photography.
I hate flash
and
photography.
kind of explain that to them. Why don't you like flash photography?
I've never liked flash photography. It always blows things out. I just think that's my like
your style.
My style.
Yeah, your
my
signature
aesthetic.
style.
I'm very more
sure.
natural lighting.
Mm-hmm.
And like if I have to use flash, I will.
But you know what? There's actually photographers who only shoot like in daylight.
In daylight.
That's all they do.
And
you know.
Then, I feel like because I mostly do like outside, like nature stuff like that. So I don't really need flash.
Mm-hmm.
But for studio, because I did take a class in college where we did like a section where we did studio photography. We shot in a studio, and I mean I see how like flash can add a very dramatic effect to photos and stuff like that. But I mean, if I were to do portrait photography and stuff like that, I probably would look more into it. But I'm more of like a natural lighting kind of person. And plus, I always like my photos with a little bit of more darkness and contrast in them. Mm-hmm. So I just steer clear from lighting.
When you're actually like in the field, like taking pictures of whatever that might be, do you have like certain settings that you do, like the aperture, the shutter speed, the white balance, anything like that you do when you take your photos? Because I'm going to link your Instagram so they can kind of see it, like your style and everything.
I used to shoot a lot in because the camera has settings.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to just shoot in like the automatic mode and fix it later. And then once I got into school and started learning more, because all I knew was film. Mm-hmm. So I knew how to do film, but digital was something new to me. Then when I got to college, I started learning. Mm-hmm. And so then I started using manual. And I think it just depends on your settings, like where you are. I try to stick to like a fast shutter speed just because I always want to get like multiple pictures and stuff like that. I don't know. As I said, I always try to make things a little bit more darker than they are. Mm-hmm. So the ISO, I try to make it so it's like not too blown out, not too white.
Yeah. On your Instagram, your image format, is it usually RAW or is it like a JPEG?
Oh, it's RAW.
It's RAW.
Yeah. I always shoot in camera RAW.
And so, what kind of tools do you use for after? So post product, like.
Okay. Well, usually I just like upload them into like Lightroom and stuff like that.
What is kind of Lightroom?
Lightroom is like a program. It kind of goes with Photoshop. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mostly edit on my phone actually, but like I don't really do much in Photoshop. Mm-hmm. Like I have them because of my classes, and when I have big projects, I do them. But I mostly just because there's so many apps nowadays. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like to make your photos really nice, and it's just so much easier. Like
what apps do you use on your phone?
I use VSCOcam.
VSCOcam, yeah. That's the one I use.
That one's really good. Just because I love their
The
effects.
filter F2 is the one I've been using lately, so kind of my images look all the same.
Yeah. I know it's really hard for me to try to have an aesthetic with my Instagram. If like you go to my very early like Instagram post, it's very like all over the place, and now I try to like have like themes, pictures going together. And then I don't really like cropped photos, so it's all my pictures are like the full frame. Just because when I shoot in I'm like the whole picture is going to what I'm going to upload or what I'm going to show. Right. So composition, that's something really important as well.
And how do you educate yourself to take better pictures? Like, what is something that you do? For example, to make my blog better, I like to look at other blogs, not to copy, but just to get inspired, to see, what they're kind of doing, and if I like it, so I can better my craft.
That's the same.
I
do the same. Mm-hmm. I go to like other people. I follow a lot of people on their Instagrams and stuff like that. I also have a friend who I go shoot with a lot, and like you just talking to other people and other photographers and see what they do, how they shoot, how they like stuff. You can just like bounce off ideas and stuff like that, and like. That's how you just learn. That's how I've just like learned what I basically like to shoot more. Right. What I like, what I'm not so good at. Right. What I'm good at, and I think it's just like talking to other people and seeing what they like, because you see what other people do and you're just like, oh, maybe I'll try that, and you'll try it and you'll be really good at it.
Right.
Or you'll try it and you won't be so good at it. So
right.
You're like, oh, maybe I should stay away from
I
that.
also heard that, like, there's nothing, you just have to take a lot of pictures. Just take photos, and, and eventually you'll find, like, the one you really like.
Yeah, just that's what they always tell you. Like, just, also, like, take a lot of photos in different kinds of settings.
Mm-hmm.
Just be like, oh, let me try a little bit darker, let me try a little lighter, let me try like this. Just do a whole bunch of stuff.
It's about trial and error, I also think. Mostly. And what's the worst thing? You don't like the picture, you delete it and move on to another one. So, yeah.
Unless you're using film. When you're doing film, you really got to think about it.
From all the photos you've taken until now, which one is your favorite? And we're going to insert it in here, and you guys can kind of see it. And why is the photo your favorite?
Oh, man. Okay, I think probably one of my first ones I ever uploaded to my Instagram. It's a picture of the Golden Gate Bridge. Mm-hmm. And it was actually an accidental photo. We were passing under the Golden Gate Bridge, and I was like, oh, I want to get a picture. So I just started snapping. It was actually with my phone. Mm-hmm. So I was just snapping, and then when I went over them later, I found that one, and then, like, I posted that one. Also, it's one that I recently took, and it's on 4th of July, the fireworks. Mm-hmm. I just really like, I just like the way the sparks look and how everything's just out there. And just because, like, night photography really, it's dark, and so there's just, like, night photography is really something that I really like doing, and that was really fun to do.
Yeah.
Watching the fireworks.
And whose work has influenced you the most? Like, is there a photographer that you love a lot, or is there, like, an Instagram account that you're like, I love, that's what, like, inspires you to, like, because I've done that when there's, like, a certain blog, and I'm like, that blog post gave me an idea of something else, and, like, so, like that. Is there anybody or any Instagram or anything like that?
Yeah, there's, like, Instagrammers. I mean, I feel bad because, like, I'm not that into, like, really famous photographers. I've never actually gone and looked at their work, which is probably kind of bad. But, like, because mostly they're, like, a lot of fine art. Like, I know, like, I really like Ansel Adams, just because, I mean, like, everybody knows him. But, like, just the way he took his photos, and it was all film, and, like, it's all nature, and I love that, like, my thing. I don't know, I just really like how he took his photos. There's lots of, mostly my favorite photographers are film, like black and white film photographers, but like digital would be like, like Instagrammers. Like there's one, I forgot her name is. Her name's like Shannon or Shani Bray or something like that. And there's another person called like Brandon Woelfel, I think.
We'll try to find links for you guys so we can link it below.
And they're pretty good, but I think they kind of shoot in kind of like, and also like the way they edit their photos is kind of like the same way how I like them, which is probably why I just like to see their stuff more. Yeah,
so basically, I mean, photography, I think it's an art, and it's something that is so beautiful, and I really, really love it, and it's really funny because my mom was the one who was, like, the original one in the family who was really into photography. Yeah. She even took some classes. My dad, was like, okay, go be a photographer, and she took some classes. She loved it, but, now I loved it as well, like I said in the beginning, but I just never actually made it a career out of it. But she was the kind of the last one who was just like, I really love this, and I want to do something with it, which I think is really, really cool. So, like I said in the beginning, I will have her Instagram linked below if you guys want to check her out or anything like that. So, not because she's my sister, but she really is really, really good at what she does. So I think it's really cool, and I just kind of wanted to come on here and kind of share it. So thank you so much for being here with me today. And so I mentioned to them if they have any questions about anything kind of that we talked about today, to just kind of leave it in the comments below, and we will do our best to kind of answer it for them. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, bye guys.
Bye.